Shalom, this is your brother Ma'lak Yasharalla, and this is Hebrew Israelite Kryptonite Part 9. All right, so these are laws on prophecy, wizardry, altar building, worshiping other gods, and so on. So it's important to keep these laws. When we keep these laws, we get blessed from the Most High, Yahweh. All right. And that's basically living righteous, is when we keep these laws at the best of our ability. And when we do right, we get right. All right. And the kryptonite is when we don't follow Yahweh's laws. It basically makes us weak. It makes our neighborhoods weak, our communities, our people. So I believe the events that you're seeing in the world is because a lot of us were waking up and we're keeping these laws. And what these laws break down to is loving Yahweh, the Most High God, loving yourself, and also loving your people. All right, so what we're going to do is hop right into it. We're going to go to Exodus chapter 23, verse 32. Exodus 23, down to verse 32. And this right here is the King James Version. So it reads, "Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods." All right, and the word gods just means power. All right, so we should not make any covenant. Covenant is like a contract, and this term is like a cutting, like a sacrifice. All right, or a contract. So we can't make any contracts with people who do not serve Yahweh. We cannot make contracts with their gods, with their powers. So in reality, or to bring that up to date, is that we really shouldn't be signing contracts with mortgages or car notes. We have to reach for ownership, whereas we don't have to make deals with them. And the reason why Yahweh says this is because they don't worship him. So most likely they're not going to have our best interests. You know, they're not going to be good for us, or the contracts or the deals that they want to make is not going to be good for us. So Yahweh says, don't do it. You know, just like in the music, in the movie industry, you know, a lot of these actors, you know, so-called famous celebrity, they sign their soul away. They make deals with the devil. You know, they have to do some things to get their form of heaven. You know, they have to do a lot of bad things, a lot of wicked things. You know, men dressing up as women to get the part in a movie, and you know, different things. You know, just crazy things. So that's a sin. You know, I know it's difficult, but we have to strive and pray for freedom, whereas we don't have to sign a contract to get a house. You know, we don't have to go for the mortgage. All right. So it's a sin. It's a sin to make a contract or a covenant with someone who does not serve Yahweh, the Most High. All right. So how do we know about paying attention? Pay attention to them. You can tell if they keep the command. If they're keeping the commandments, then they serve Yahweh. All right. So that's that. And let's go to Exodus chapter 23, verse 33. So the verse right down, it says, "They shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee." All right, so it says, "They shall not dwell in thy land." Okay, so basically on our property, anyone who does not serve Yahweh should not live in our homes or apartments. be on our land. And the reason why he says is that because lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare. All right. So the bottom line is that Yahweh we can't even bring them around us, anybody who serves a different power. Because Yahweh says that, look, if you wind up serving their power, their God is going to be very bad for us. All right. So we're not even allowed. So in your house, it doesn't matter if it's cousin, aunt, uncle, they need somewhere to stay. If they don't serve Yahweh, we cannot let them on our property. We just can't. And that's just Yahweh. Yahweh saying that we can't. Because what Yahweh wants, he wants success for us. And these other gods that's out here, they're not for our success. All right. Not the Hebrew Israelite. That they will cause drama, issues in our lives. Bad things, very bad things. All right. So let's go to Leviticus 19:27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. All right, so you shall not round the corners of your heads. Some Israelites believe this is lineups. We can't get lineups or shape ups. Some Israelites believe that the rounding of the head is, you're probably seeing like on the photos in Egypt, in Africa, some different parts of Africa, whereas they would shape the head for their gods. And they believe that it will make them more intelligent to shape their head that way. All right. Normally that's not a custom over here in America. But lineups, we see that, all the time. And then neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. So that's basically cutting your beard. So we're not allowed to cut our beard. Your beard, your hair, can tell your history on who you are, your hair texture, hair color, shows your age. If you have any, silver hair or gray hair. All right. And it's a sign of manhood. Once you become a man, normally you get a beard. All right. Now, some men who don't get beards, but Yahweh knows, for the reason they don't have a beard or they can't grow a beard. All right. So in all this, in this right here, a lot of this stuff, this right here, the round the corners of your heads, that's like, could be form of worshiping a different God or a different power. All right. And it's funny to be successful in this where we live at. You got to go up against the Most High, because when you want to go for that job, that 9-to-5 job, a lot of times they make you cut your beard. You're in corporate, you have to be clean shaven, but Yahweh says we cannot cut our beard. So that just is what it is. So let's stay in chapter 19 and let's go to, matter of fact, so let's go to verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. All right, so this is, you shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead. So any cuttings for the dead, we can't do that. Any piercings for the dead, no, we can't do that. We can't honor the dead by putting any marks or any cuttings on our body. It says also, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. So print. So that's whatever, print any marks on you. So tattoos, or if you're drawing on yourself with marker or ink pen, we can't do that. Yahweh says that we can't do that. Our bodies are a special thing. All right, it's kind of like, let's just say $1 million vehicle, right? You have that $1 million vehicle, you're not going to mark it up. You're going to keep that custom, you're going to keep that paint job. You don't want to change the paint job, or it's going to lose the value. All right, it has all this technology inside of the vehicle because it's $1 million vehicle. Our bodies are worth so much more. So it's the same concept. Our bodies is like high technology, very, very high technology. And we shouldn't be marking it up. All right. And this right here is marking it up for the dead. All right. So we shouldn't be putting any marks on our body. Well, actually, we can't, because that's a commandment. All right. And also, too, we have to be careful. Also, on top of that, what we're writing on our body. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when we get into like spells. We could put something on our body and, bring something out of what we wrote on there. All right. So what if we already have a tattoo or tattoos? You already got it done. If it's eating at you, if it's bothering you, getting at you, then get it removed. You know what I'm saying? But what's done in the past is, what's done in the past. Get it removed if it's really bothering you. But now so don't get any more tattoos. So that's that. And 4. All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 12. Chapter 12, verse 2, 3, and 4. All right. Ye shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree. And ye shall overthrow their altars. Overthrow their altars. See, this is when we were getting our land. So we had to clear out. We had to clean our new land out. All right. So it says overthrow altars. So overthrow is like to break their altars. So an altar, now this is important here. Altars, I believe the word altar or altars is in the Bible like over 300 times, but, once we was in that Christian church, they never really talked and discussed what an altar is. But an altar is very important. An altar is not always good. An altar is not always bad. So an altar is a place, is basically a tool used as a bridge from point A to point B. All right. So an altar is a place to call out something or summon something. All right. For us, we don't summon minor gods. We serve the Most High God, Yahweh. So an altar would be a tool or device that basically connects us to Yahweh. All right. And an altar is not a certain size. It can be small. It can be the size of a football field. But on an altar, you have, in scripture, you have the elements. You have for Yahweh's altar, you have the element of fire. And that's where Yahweh would actually come through the fire. You have water. You have earth. Earth was the stones that wasn't chiseled or cut. All right. You had brass. You had all types of things inside this altar. So the stage has to be set. All right. For Yahweh. For Yahweh's altar. Now, it may be a different altar. It may be Zeus altar or Oshun's altar. All right. But we don't serve them. All right. We're higher up. Our Father is Yahweh. So that's what an altar is. All right. And pillars, you may have pillars on it. So I'm going to get in. I'm not going to go too much on altars. I'm going to keep it moving. So we must break their altars. Why break their altars? Because it's a bridge. It's like a portal. You know, it can cause trouble to us. It can cause trouble to us. All right. Other gods' altars. Other gods are not on the same team as we're on. So we can't serve them. So we have to break their altars. That's anybody, if you find an altar in your house because you let somebody in that's ungodly and you find in the basement that they had an altar set up, you have to break it. It's on your property. That's just what the Most High says right here in verse 3. All right. And also break their pillars. So the pillars are like images, sometimes carved in stones. So basically what this is just imagery. So if you have an altar and you're trying to summon, Uncle Tyrone, you know what I'm saying? Somebody would have a pillar or a photo of him on their altar to call them out. All right. So Yahweh says, break their images. All right. We're going to be a pillar of a different God. And then it says, and burn their groves with fire. I believe this is, if I remember, this is like a goddess. This is a goddess right here. So Yahweh says, burn it with fire. Ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods and destroy the names of them out of that place. So it's trouble. Whenever you see an altar, pay attention, because there could be trouble. Now, it could be an altar. So an altar is like a tool. So kind of like somebody can have a drill, right? But they don't know how to use that drill. So it's just for show. They just bought a drill. So same thing with some altars. Some altars aren't active. Maybe somebody got an altar because it was popular at the time or whatever it may be. All right. But then you got some people who know how to use that drill. You know what I'm saying? And they can make some things happen with that drill. Same thing for altars. So Yahweh says, destroy it. Destroy it. All right. And altars are dangerous. Altars are dangerous. If you notice, in scripture, whenever there was like a plague or a war, we would go to the altar and we would have blessings from Yahweh. So it's a lot of people out here, believe it or not, that have altars, but we're not blessed as a people. If we have an altar for Yahweh, we all should be blessed, because that means Yahweh is active. You know what I'm saying? And we're serving him. So any altars that's not of Yahweh, get rid of them. Get rid of it out of your life, because it's going to bring bad things. It can cause you to be possessed. It can cause your family members, your mom, to be possessed. It can cause your children to be possessed, because you're summoning, different spirits. All right. So yeah. So definitely get rid of it. It's a sin. It's a sin to have it. Now we say, well, what if we have an altar for Yahweh? You know what I'm saying? My altar is for Yahweh. Nah, I don't believe that's possible. Well, I'm not gonna say I don't believe it's not possible, but I just highly doubt that somebody has an altar for Yahweh. To have an altar for Yahweh, I didn't get through to those laws yet of sacrifice, but the whole scene has to be set. for altar for Yahweh. You got to have certain materials in there. Your life, the way we act, has to be righteous in order to serve Yahweh in the altar, to even call and summon Yahweh. But we're going to go over it. Yahweh willing, we're going to go over what those laws are. Whereas though the Levites, how the Levites had to set the altar, how they had to keep the fire lit, how Yahweh would actually come through the fire, and meet up with them. All right. So any altars, get it away from you, get it out of your house. It's a tool that's real. Altars are real, summoning spirits or ghosts, whatever you want to call them. Minor gods, whatever you want to call it, is real, and they have power. And they can really ruin your life. All right. So break it, ruin it, put the groves on fire, and hew down the graven images. All right. And that goes on a previous commandment. Don't have people in your house. Don't have people in your house that don't serve the Most High. And check this out. And ye shall not do so unto Yahweh your power. So Yahweh's altar, you don't break it. You don't damage it. All right. So Yahweh's altar. So even before the Levites, we were making altars for Yahweh, even before the Levites. But when the Levites came, Yahweh gave them a special task to basically serve him and work for him on our behalf. All right. So they really had to live a clean life. No mistakes. I shouldn't say no mistakes. Well, no mistakes and no wrong choices. All right. No unrighteous choices. So let's move on. Let's go to matter of fact, let's stay in here. So 3, 4. All right, let's go to chapter 7, Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 2. 7, verse 2. And when Yahweh thy power shall deliver thee before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. So people who don't serve Yahweh, we can't show favor to them. All right. It is what it is. I mean, it says it right here. All right. And the reason why is because they don't live for Yahweh, and they can cause us problems. What this is about is success. Yahweh wants success for us. All right. And people who don't serve Yahweh, who don't live for the Most High, they're not good for us. They want to cause bad things to happen to us, and they want to cause us to make bad choices and bad decisions. All right, Deuteronomy 13, 1 through 5. Deuteronomy 13, 1 through 5. All right, so if there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams. For Yahweh your power proveth you to know whether ye love Yahweh your power with all your heart and with all your soul. Ye shall walk after Yahweh your power and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. All right, so if there's somebody who told the future and says, Yahweh is my power, all right, and if he keeps the commandments, or a dreamer of dreams, or if somebody said, I had a dream or a daydream, and this is what's going to happen, and it comes to pass, you know what I'm saying? Or if he gives you a sign or a wonder, or she gives a sign or a wonder, all right, and it says, if this person says, you know what, let's make this altar. We're going to make an altar and do this and do that and do this, right? And title this altar such and such. You know what I mean? That's not Yahweh. Yahweh says, don't do it. Don't listen to him. So we can't get caught up in wonders and amazing things that people can do, because people have power. Some people out here that has power to do some things, all right, to tell a future and to do a lot of amazing things, miraculous things. But if they cause you to sin, if they're telling you to sin, what is sin? Sin is transgression of the law. Sin is breaking the law. So if they're causing you to sin, or if they want you to sin, go up against the Most High, don't. You know, that's a commandment. Don't. Leave that person alone. All right. Don't follow him anymore. Don't follow her no more. Don't follow their YouTube channel. Leave them alone. All right. And we're going to get blessed. Once we keep these laws, we're going to get blessed. Once we listen to our Father, we're going to be blessed. All right. And also, so we don't listen. Don't do what they say to do. And that's why it's important to know these laws, so that we can determine whether someone is righteous, whether or not we should follow that person. All right. Verse 4. Ye shall walk after Yahweh your power and fear him, and keep his commandments and obey his voice. And ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. Verse 5. And that prophet or that dreamer shall be put to death. That's how bad it is when somebody mislead you to disconnect with our Father. They need to be put to death. Thus says the Lord. And this is the reason why, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yahweh, your power, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which Yahweh thy power commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. So whenever somebody tells you to break the law, break Yahweh's laws, because when we break his laws, that causes us to be separated from him. That's not love. All right. So Yahweh says that he's the one who brought us out of Egypt, who set us free, the land of bondage. All right. Non-success. No success was happening in that land for us. Even if something seemed to be success, even if it seemed that we were having success, it really wasn't success. All right. Just like here, right now we're in a type of Egypt. All right. We're in bondage. All right. So that's what Yahweh, see, when we keep the commandments, we get free. When we start keeping those commandments, we get freed up. And we have to put that evil away from us. So get that evil away. So if there's anybody that's telling you to sin, Get them out. And if it's anybody who has any type of power, who's a psychic medium, or whatever, don't get caught up in the hype with the miracles that they're doing. They should, even if they're telling you to make an altar, get away as fast as you can. All right, because most likely that altar is not for Yahweh, and Yahweh is not passing through that altar. Okay. Let's go to Deuteronomy 18, 10, and 11. Ten, 11, and 15. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. All right, so there shall not be found among you. So don't even be near, don't even associate with anyone who's sacrificing his son or his daughter. All right. So a lot of this stuff, I mean, this is like underground type stuff. You're not going to really hear about somebody sacrificing kids. All right. But this happens, like so many kids come up missing. And a lot of times it's for this reason. You know, some underground sacrifice on an altar. All right. And it's to get something. So, I don't even know if I told. So an altar, why an altar? Why would somebody want an altar? A lot of people say, because I want to give a gift to my ancestor or this and that, my uncle who passed away. Nah. Normally an altar is to get something in return. All right. You're putting in work, basically. You're doing a service and you want something in return. All right. You're giving something to get something. That's what an altar is for. It's a bridge. It's a bridge for help. All right. A lot of people know that. And an altar, why would somebody want an altar? It could be desperate. You know what I'm saying? It could be maybe Yahweh was not dealing with them no more. Yahweh cut them off. So they want to go through like a back door to get what they want. So they call out whatever power that they're calling out on that altar. All right. So, and also too, I forgot. Yeah. So the elements is on the altar as well. And also it can be life, blood. All right. Blood is the life of whatever being, whether it's an animal or as a human. All right. Blood is like a high form of offering. So this right here, your daughter and son passing through the fire. So that's after you sacrifice it. You light it up, and that's where that God or power, whatever it is most likely going to come through. It's going to come through that fire. So that's a sin. It's saying it right here. You can't do that. All right. Or that useth divination. So divination is a tool. All right. And it's talking about to serve a different God. So you can't use an altar, divination, an altar to serve another God. A Ouija board. A Ouija board is a tool for divination. You can use a Ouija board to call or to put in work or to serve another power or another God. All right. So many forms of divination. Or an observer of times, an enchanter, witch, charmer, consulter of familiar spirits, wizard, necromancer. So these are like, you have the mediums, your psychics, your charmers, they're ones who put spells on you. A witch, witch does it, calling out the dead, an oracle, to be used to have a spirit control you, jump in you and control your mind. So somebody who talks to the dead, who calls out to the dead. So these are all tools that's used when Yahweh is not dealing with you. So seeing the future, stuff like that, Yahweh can, give us that without using tarot cards, all right, and different things like that. We don't have to go through other spirits. If we want to travel, Yahweh can cause us to do amazing things, where so we don't have to go to whatever it may be, fallen angels or jinn or whatever is out there. We don't have to get them to work for us or for us to work for them. We can go straight to the Most High, all right? And it's up to him. He can give us those gifts or those powers. You know what I mean? So there's so many more things on a high level, miraculous things that we can do by going straight to Yahweh. All right. So it's a sin to even have these people around us or watch them on TV or watch them on YouTube. All right. Because that stuff is no joke. This stuff is when you play around with this stuff, man, I mean, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It can cause people call it bad luck. It can cause our life not to be blessed, and also our people's life. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's dealing with this in their household, spirits, demonic spirits, best thing I say to do is, fall on your knees and ask Yahweh for mercy and forgiveness, and to get that wicked stuff about your house. There's plenty camps. Go on YouTube, there's plenty Hebrew Israelite camps. Go to the leader, tell him what you're dealing with. I'm pretty sure, the first thing he's going to tell you to do is keep these commandments, and he's going to pray. He's going to pray for you. All right? Any righteous person would. But yeah, you can tell by personalities in your children if it's a demonic presence working inside that household. It's not always. I mean, Yahweh gives us emotions, and we act out on emotions sometimes, but you'll know if it's a spirit up in, your cousin or your kids or yourself. But Yahweh, he's merciful when he wants to be merciful. He can help anybody who's dealing with any type of unclean spirit that could be inside of them. All right, so that's verse 11. And let's just read 12 and down. For all that do these things are an abomination unto Yahweh. And because of these abominations, Yahweh, your power, doth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with Yahweh, thy power. So Yahweh says we should be perfect. All right. So this is when we was coming to our land. We had to drive these people out who was doing these things. For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observers of times and unto diviners. But as for thee, Yahweh, your power, have not suffered thee so to do. So they listened to these powerful individuals. They were powerful. Anybody who can tell the future is powerful. Anybody that can do miraculous things is powerful. But just because they're powerful don't mean that they're right, that they're righteous. All right. So Yahweh says that, but we don't listen to them. All right. We listen to Yahweh. And then verse 15, Yahweh, thy power will raise up thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him he shall hearken, he shall listen. All right. So Yahweh says he's going to give you basically powerful people of your own people. And it says and they're going to be like unto me. So what that means is that they're going to act like me. They're going to be right. They're going to love me. They're going to love themselves, and they're going to love their people. All right. So these are going to be commandment keepers who loves their people. All right. Who wants the best for their people, who serves and get information from Yahweh. And it says those are the ones we listen to. So any witches, warlocks, no. Yahweh, it's a sin to even have them near you. To even have them near you. If you have dreams, does that make you a witch? No. If you have miraculous powers, does that make you a witch? No. No, it doesn't. It depends on who you serving, who you praying to. All right. If you have an altar, if you have an altar, it should be to Yahweh, but we don't know how. The average person don't know how to make a altar for Yahweh. So just because you have gifts, doesn't mean that you're a witch. All right. If you do have a gift of, seeing the future or whatever, just make sure that you're keeping these laws and you praying to Yahweh and only Yahweh. All right. Let's go to a verse. Let's go down to verse 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. So if there's anybody who's saying, oh, Yahweh told me this, or Yahweh told me that, and it don't come to pass, that person shall die. All right. This is their warning right here. And Yahweh works in miraculous ways. Death can just come. All right. So to lie on Yahweh is a big offense. It's very, very bad. Just like in the Christian church back in the day, they would say, oh, the Holy Spirit told me this. Or God told me that you're going to be my wife, or God told me that you're going to be my husband. If you speak Yahweh's name, come correct, because it can be really bad, really, really bad. All right. So be careful. Even, if somebody's telling the future, if they put in Yahweh's name on it and they doing some demonic stuff, knowing good well it's not coming from Yahweh, it's coming from Shiva, or it's coming from Isis, Oshun, or whoever it may be, it's going to be a problem, for them. But right here, Yahweh says that, they shall be put to death. Anybody who lies on Yahweh. And also they're deceiving people. A lot of people do that to deceive people, to trick people, to get them to follow them. Because that's how that warlock or witch or wizard, that's how they gain power, by their followers. It's kind of like a pyramid. Their followers give them power. They give power to their power. All right. So that's that. Verse. So let's go down to verse 22. When a prophet speaketh in the name of Yahweh, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which... let me read again. When a prophet speaketh in the name of Yahweh, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which Yahweh hath not spoken, but the prophet have spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him. So when you break that word down in the Hebrew, I believe it means like arrogantly. He spoke too soon. All right. And Yahweh is saying, don't be afraid of him. Afraid is like high respect, like your parents when you was young. You'll be afraid of your parents to do something wrong because that parent can punish you. So that's what that afraid is. So it's saying if it's a prophet of Yahweh and he speaks something that doesn't come to pass, don't be afraid of him. But in this case, it is a prophet of Yahweh. He does have the ability, but by the way he is, it calls him to misspeak. All right, by the way he is, it calls him to misspeak. Yahweh says, don't be afraid of him. All right. So that's it. So that's the laws on prophecy, on altars. All right, being a witch. If it is any women or any men out there, that's into witchcraft, I would say get out of it. Get out of it. If you do have any gifts, I would say fall to your knees to Yahweh, ask him for mercy. Let him know that you want to work for him and only him. Any Ouija boards, any altars, break them, throw them out. When you do good, you get good. Obedience is better than sacrificing on the altar. Live right, be a righteous person, and you'll get what you want, whatever you want. Because when you're righteous, your prayers, what you ask Yahweh, is going to be a righteous prayer. All right. And blessings is going to come to you. So that's my advice. And that's the law. If you're into any type of, psychic or medium or whatever it may be, turn from it. Get rid of your tarot cards, get them out of your place. Don't have anybody in your residence. Start cutting your friends off if your friends are into any type of witchcraft. This is Yahweh speaking, not me. This is all, we just read it all. And you're going to get blessed. You're going to become even more powerful and even more successful. All right. What you're seeing, again, a lot of these stars, Hollywood stars, a lot of them are doing sacrifices. Some of them are sacrificing their own children. But of course, you're not going to hear that on the news. You're going to hear like a drowning occurred, or this kid accidentally died, or something like that. All right. So yeah, this stuff happens. And what they do, they get power from their gods. If you want to be a top rapper or singer, gotta sacrifice on the altar. All right. And one more thing too, fast food. We already know who our oppressor is and who oppresses us. So why should we trust our oppressors to make our food? All right. We just talked about altars and blood. And what happens too on an altar, when you sacrifice, I don't want to get too deep into it, but when you sacrifice something living, right, and you pass it through the fire, you cook it. When you eat that meat, you're basically partaking in what the person who is offering wants. So for an example, if it's a corporation, right, and it's a fast food place, you don't know what's going on. That meat can be sacrificed meat offered up to a different god. Why? Why would we want to eat that? And chance, basically, us being cursed, right? That stuff could possibly be curses put on it, whereas though we're eating it and it's causing their business to be successful. If you look at some of these lines, like with Popeye's chicken, come on now, you got people killing people for Popeye's chicken. That's not normal. That's not normal. That's because most likely what goes on, I'm saying most likely, what goes on behind closed doors that you don't realize is that you're eating sacrificing meat. All right. And you think that blood can be drained out? Come on now. Blood has been flowing through that animal all its life. You think that blood can be drained out? No, it can't. It can't. All right. And I can go on and on. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but who knows if you're even eating animals? It can be 5% human meat. You know what I'm saying? But that could be a way that Yahweh is allowing them to curse us under that Deuteronomy 28 curse by the food that we're eating. All right, by the food that we're eating. So, keep these commandments if you want to be free. If you want to leave the matrix, when we do right, we get right. You even get smarter, more intelligent. You'll be able to see things and understand things or what's going on in this wicked world, which means government. All right, and what Yahweh Shai said, he said, don't be of this world. All right, we belong to the kingdom, to the government of the Most High Yahweh. All right, so again, if anybody is a seer, work for Yahweh. Tear it down out of your life. If you're dealing with crystals, I don't mean you're a witch. Crystals is just different energy. You pull in different energy, frequencies, different things like that. I mean, even if you look at your hair, the texture of your hair, anything that coils up is a conductor, is going to pull some type of energy or frequency. Even in scripture talks about different stones. You know what I'm saying? Different stones. Even the kingdom of heaven, there's different stones. All right. So I just encourage everybody to continue to live righteously and to keep and do these commandments at the best of your ability, and teach your children to keep these commandments. Continue to build up Israel. Continue to build up your house. All right. And again, this is your brother Ma'lak Yasharalla, and shalom.